Hey everyone, I'm Sage Valentine and welcome to my channel of the same name. Right now I'm going to review for you guys CBS's Big Brother Season 17, Episode number 4. There is more to the story regarding that argument between Davion and Clay. It is not an isolated incident. It was something that was brewing over the weekend, all because of one instance where Davion protected Steve while Clay was bullying him, and Clay, I guess, didn't like the fact that she was stopping him from bullying her, coupled with all of the things that Audrey was saying in not only Clay's ear but Davion's ear, and that is basically what sparked the blow up. It had little to nothing to do with Davion counting stuff and going into a different room. She came in upset because Audrey was in her ear. Big Brother did not show that. That's the one thing they didn't show, and that bothered me about that because it made it look like Davion just went off for no reason, and that is not the case. Let me tell you that during this entire, or the past weekend, Audrey was just starting fires everywhere she could. She was paranoid. She had turned her back on the Girls Alliance, I guess, after the first day. She didn't even give it 24 hours before she was trying to throw Davion under the bus. See, this is the problem with watching the show and watching the feeds, because of the fact that the show has to be condensed into 45 minutes, 46, probably 47, versus the hundreds and hundreds of hours that people are able to see when they're watching the feeds. So a lot of times people will not understand why people are reacting a certain way towards a situation, unless of course you saw that situation or you read about it through someone's recap or through a website like mortystv.com. And then you're able to understand what's going on, but you still really cannot grasp the concept of what's going on unless you see it yourself. And I saw all that Audrey was doing during the weekend. And I know I've been saying her name more than anybody else's name in the house, but unfortunately, she was the main one that the feeds focused on because of her brand of crazy that she debuted during the past couple days and the past weekend. Let me say this. Davion broke down and cried because she realized that Audrey was playing her. Because she figured that she could kind of trust Audrey because they seemed to click. But then she, I guess, somehow figured out that Audrey was playing her, and that's why she was crying, coupled with the fact that Audrey, or that she actually, Davion, missed her daughter. Which is understandable, and no, she's not the first person that has played in Big Brother that has left behind their families, be it young children or adult children. They miss all of them: wives, husbands, animals, boyfriends, girlfriends. I can completely understand, and Vanessa did have a situation where Vanessa broke down because she missed her girlfriend, but I guess Big Brother didn't have enough time to put that in the previous episode. Let me say this, that Audrey has 1,000 different alliances. I can't even name them. That's how many she's involved in. So it wasn't a big surprise when Big Brother decided to use the footage of the one alliance coming together, and then the second one Audrey decided to make on top of that one. As far as James and Jason trying to recruit people to get rid of Jace, you have to understand that during the weekend they were a little shaky about getting rid of Jace. Like, they were saying maybe I should keep, or we should keep Jace. Then Jace started doing stuff, like saying things, and that whole streaking thing didn't exactly help his game. And then it was something that he said about Becky, and I mean, he was a little bit out of line, on top of the fact that he is a strong player, and unfortunately, he is the one that's going to have to go. And I do understand his frustration. You will see how he reacts because of this. And I understand that it must be frustrating, considering that he's the first person to go home, even though everybody always says that somebody has to go home. But the fact that he was backdoored means he can't even fight his way out of this. Mind you, I'm basing everything on Jace based on tonight's episode. As far as the feeds, I know what's going on with that as well. I'm so glad that Steve won the veto, because Steve was basically a sitting duck, and I hope that Steve eventually wins head of household at some point, because they're going to keep putting him up as a pawn. Now, let me see if I left anything else out that I felt was important to talk to you guys about before I completely end this. Davion was correct in, like, counting stuff and learning about different things for HOH. She is definitely on point in everything that she's thinking. The problem with Davion is that Davion at this point was not being low-key. Now she is. But during the weekend, it was basically Audrey and Davion kind of becoming paranoid a little bit and just like going a mile a minute. Then Davion kind of slowed down and Audrey just kept going and going and going and going. I am so glad that Steve won veto. I'm also glad that I chose not to spoil it for you guys. I promise you I will not spoil things like the winners of the Battle of the Block, veto, or anything special for you guys. I'll just tell you the stuff that we're allowed to see. Just a little bit of it, not too much. Not so you guys won't be ruined. Unless, of course, there's another situation like there was tonight with that fight, and I have to kind of explain it to you a little bit. I was super happy that they chose to leave that scene in the episode. I was kind of surprised too, where Audrey woke up a bunch of people just to form an alliance at like 5 o'clock in the morning. And people were upset, and they had every right to be upset because it could have waited. But see, that was just a taste of the crazy things that Audrey was doing last weekend. But until tomorrow, you all take care. Check me out at Sage Valentine, Google Plus, and Twitter. Don't forget to rate this video, leave your comments, and let me know what you're thinking about this episode, the feeds if you're watching them, and this season so far. And hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to my brand of crazy. And I have a review of Big Brother I'm going to do tomorrow. I'll have Under the Dome by at least Saturday, and then I will have Hannibal at least by Monday. So you guys take care. I love you all. Bye, guys. Bye.